peoples! As you might be aware, there is currently an event going on in Infinity Nikki, like there usually always is, but I thought this time I might as well give you my 2 cents about it, so stay tuned for that. In this event, we're basically doing a murder mystery case. We are detectives, and I'll give you a summary of the whole quest, basically the storyline. So there is a suitcase that's found with pieces of a PC, pieces of PC fabric, and it's presumably Julie's. Julie is a very famous actress and also the sovereign of sexy. Meanwhile, people also get poisoned. So our job is to look for clues and to figure out who the culprit is. We interrogate people and we look around finding things that are suspicious or out of place. Turns out that there is a company that makes clothes from pieceys. Real people wear clothes that were made from the pieceys. That means they kill pieceys. Julie is their next target, their next victim, and so she actually orchestrated her whole murder. This company was also responsible for the poisoning that happened around there so that they could steal the evidence and things like that. Everyone that is involved in this company has their reasons for being in it. Some of them are tear-inducing, some of them are rage-inducing, but everyone has their reasons, and everybody that we meet has their reasons for being there as well. All the people that we suspect to be culprits all have their reasons, even if they are not the culprit. It's just really everything is intertwined. That is basically the summary. Of course, the quest itself, the story is much deeper with lots of details and things like that, but then you'd have to play it to see all those details.
なぜ祝福を受け取ろうとしない。危ない。幕引きの時間だ。悪いな。やめろ。私を見下すな。
Let's go on with the pros. I loved the story. I really did. I liked being a detective. It was super fun. And it really did keep you on your toes to try to figure out who the culprit was. Because there were lots of people who seemed like they had a motive. That seemed like they could have done something, like the poisoning or stealing some of the artifacts and the evidence. So it really was hard to figure out who the culprit was. And we even had an evidence board where we kept all of our information logged. We could go back and check and review what we've gathered so far. That was really fun. And interrogating people, that was so fun. And the voice acting was very well done. Now do keep in mind that I do play this game in Japanese. It's just the version that I liked the most. So I'm not sure how the English voice acting is, but I really did enjoy the Japanese one. They really put their soul into it during the interrogation specifically.
なんですと？私がジュリエットの私物を盗んでどうするのです？それにプライベート醸造園なんて行ったこともないです。
こいつ嘘ついてるよ。ニキ、やっとこいつが泥棒だって分かったんだ。こいつが現場に行った証拠だって絶対にあるはずだよ。この写真をよく見て。このシシーア風のスカーフはあなたのものでしょ？
なんですと？何のことだかさっぱりわかりません。
トーマス、プライベート醸造園に行ったことがないなら、あなたのスカーフがそこにあるのはおかしいわ。もう言い逃れはできないわよ。
これはなぜこれが私のスカーフだと断言できるのです？私はずっとスカーフなんてしてませんよ。私はプライベート醸造園なんて行ってません。 ジュリエットが最後にそこで客をもてなしたのがいつで、誰を招いてどんな香りの洗剤を塗ったかなんて全然興味ないです。私のスカーフ。
新しい名刺を取った時、あなたはこのスカーフをしていたわ。トーマス、まだ何か言うことはある？
これは、この写真のスカーフは、私は。
The minigames that were also included in this event were fun and slightly challenging. We pressed juice and we could go through the cellar to go through basically a maze and obstacle course, and they weren't boring. They were just enough of a challenge that you wanted to keep playing it. I never felt bored and everything was doable. It also wasn't something that couldn't be done. It wasn't so hard that I just wanted to give up. It really was the right amount of challenging in my opinion. Now the cons. In the beginning, Momo disappeared for the first few dialogue sections. It was actually pretty funny because the camera would change angles in that dramatic way, pointing to where Momo was supposed to be, but surprise, he wasn't there, so it just looked really funny. But that was a little bit of a bummer. The interrogation sometimes wouldn't work because I wasn't on the correct dialogue. So I had the right evidence that would refute their claim, and there was only one thing that needed to be shown. Like, there wasn't more than one claim that needed to be corrected. It was just one. But I needed to submit that evidence on the right dialogue. So I had to go back and check, where do I present this evidence? Sometimes I would get confused and I thought maybe I was presenting the wrong evidence. I ended up failing the interrogation even though I had the correct evidence. The fashion challenge with Julie, the sovereign sexy, it's incredibly hard. I am pretty advanced in this game. I haven't been playing since the start, but I have completed the main quest and I have already unlocked 2 of the miracle outfits. I'm on my way to unlocking the 3rd one, and even then it was really hard. I was only able to get a great score. It was one of the requirements for one of the rewards, and I was only able to get that score. And the clothes that I was using, I got from previous banners and they had been fully glowed up. These are 5-star outfits that I got from banners. Free, by the way. I never spent any money on them. And even then, I only got great. So I really felt like it was impossible to get a perfect score. Another thing about the event was that a lot was required to unlock the main event quest and the side quest. So for you to actually be able to unlock the event quest, you had to already be pretty advanced in the main storyline, and they also added new quests that you needed to complete before you were able to start the event quest. And those quests that they added to the game to unlock the event didn't contribute anything to the reward system of the event. So it felt like they added those quests just for the event, but I didn't get anything out of it, Of course, they added new features to the game, so those quests contributed, I guess, to the new mechanisms in the game, but it really did feel like those quests were only because of the event. Another con that's kind of related to the event, I guess kind of related to the update, is that my game on my computer was having lots of problems loading. It would take forever to load and it would constantly be showing like connection problems that I had to restart the game, but it never restarted the game. It just kept showing me that screen and it would take forever and ever to load. The loading screen would sometimes pause in certain percentages for a long time, and even after the loading screen finished, the world itself would take a really long time to load, and this was the first time that I had this problem. Actually, the game on my cell phone in airport Wi-Fi loaded much quicker than the game on my computer did. Just so that you have an idea of, it wasn't Wi-Fi problems because airport Wi-Fi did it just fine. It probably had something to do with the system that in my computer just would take forever to load. So I ended up doing it like this. When I finished the main quest, I only played on my cell phone. I finished the side quests and that kind of stuff mainly on my cell phone because I was just wasting my time sitting on my computer waiting for the game to load. Now, my final thoughts. This event was very fleshed out. I think it's one of the best ones they've done so far. There was a lot of content, both from the story aspect of it and the game aspect of it. Even the side quests were cute and they contributed to the event. In some previous events, the side quests felt like just something that they threw together so that they could ask for that in the rewards section, but the side quests really did feel like they were part of the event, that they contributed to the story, like the aftermath of the story. So I really feel like they did their darnest best in this event. It is very entertaining and not short at all. It's not something that you complete in 2 days and then you forget about it. I really did spend a lot of time doing it, and I had fun while I was doing it. I was glued to my screen. I ended up going to sleep late a couple of times. My husband was waiting for me to go to sleep and I was like, I'm so sorry, let me just finish this. It really was super entertaining. The only problem is that it did require a lot of your time because of the extra quests that they made, and the interrogations were kind of long. So the event itself did require a lot of your time, and you can't be a new player. You really have to be advanced in the game. Not end game, but not beginner. My suggestion is, for those of you who are new to the game, try to advance the main storyline in case the next event might be advanced. This was, I think, one of the first quests where they required you to have already unlocked 2 new regions, basically. I'm not sure if they will have these kind of requirements for the next event or not. Anyways, those are my final thoughts. I totally enjoyed it. Infinity Nikki always brings me so much joy, and this event in particular was really captivating. All the time that I spent on it was definitely worth it. So yeah, thank you for sticking around and listening to my opinion. Not that it really matters, but I thought I'd share it anyways. If you've played through the event and have your own opinions, if you completely hated it, if you don't agree with my opinion, leave the comments down below. We can have a chat and we can figure out where our differences are. And I hope that you stick around for my other videos. I play Papa's games, I play Sims, I play Spiritfarer, and stay tuned for more Infinity Nikki content. I plan on making more of those. If there's any suggestions that you have for me, I am open to all suggestions and I want to learn from you as well. Anyways, thank you for being here and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!